Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness, also streaming on Entertainment in Color. I'm your host, Francis. Up top, we have Miss TJoy, who just took out her pin curls. How are
Yes,
you,
for
Joy?
the people. I took them out for the people.
And how are you feeling on this Friday evening?
I'm feeling relaxed,
That's good.
relaxed.
Relax. Relax is good. And we have Tamika here. How are you, Tamika?
I'm pretty good. It's Friday. Can't complain. I mean, I could complain, but I ain't going to
I
complain.
could play. You could
Right.
complain for
You
sure. Well, we are here to talk about the Real Love Boat episode 6 and 7. The first thing that I just have to say is I just finished watching episode 7.
Yes, you literally.
And at the very end of it, she says, "We are just about halfway through this experience."
And my mouth was wide open. I was like, I know she lying.
There's
I thought she was about to say we're almost done. I know she lied. Rebecca, sit down.
I could not believe that. I was like 2 more episodes, or next week is the grand finale. Like, that's what I thought was gonna happen. And so what, there's like 6 or 7 more episodes left.
That's why
shocked.
CBS was like, send it to Paramount. They're not watching. It's like, we got 12 more episodes. They ain't watching now. They ain't gonna watch it. Just move it to Paramount, because this is a lot. This is a lot.
I'm shocked. Tamika, how do you feel about the fact that it's not over for a while?
I did. I was like, okay, so I guess that's why they cut it off on episode 4. I thought it was a little premature, but it doesn't seem like that it was. That being said, I was laughing because Taylor Hale was actually on Twitter tweeting that she just started the Real Love Boat. And then one of the people in like the jailer community was like, "Oh, isn't that nice? Taylor is the only person left watching the Real Love Boat." And I was like,
I'm still watching.
I'm still watching. And it looks like we're in here for the long haul. So
Like, will it be done before the new year?
That's what I want to know.
they need to be dropping 2 episodes a week,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just drop them all.
Right. Hello.
Or just drop them all.
Just drop them all.
Yeah.
I would love to just burn through them and just do like 3 more
Yes.
pods about
Yes.
it. And
It's got to be done before Love Island winter starts. So, hello.
Love Island winter is no
What
matter what, it's
what
going to be way
country is
better
that?
than this.
What country?
I think UK.
UK. Yeah.
Miss TJoy, you have some things to do. You need to watch a couple episodes of UK, or a couple seasons, sorry, of UK, so you can understand. And you have to watch this next season. Just saying.
I know you told me which seasons and in the order. I wrote them down, so I do have to do that.
There's a lot of episodes, so you kind of have to get on them pretty quickly. Because I don't know if you can even finish, like, at the pace that I watch things, maybe like I just will sit and watch a whole season in a day.
Me too.
Okay, so it'll take probably 3 days to watch a season. So get to it. At least watch season 5.
Okay.
I think you would enjoy season 5. And then what we were saying, Tamika, season 8 after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 8. I would do the newer season.
And then if you want to, be a
Go
realist,
back.
go back and watch all of them, because they're I think they're all very
watch
good.
Them at?
Are they on Hulu?
Yeah.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, I believe
They
they're
should all be on Hulu right now. Yeah,
Okay.
they should all be on Hulu.
Oh, Sophie is joining us. It's the Beautiful Queens Hour. Well, thank you, Sophie. Appreciate you, even though you said shocking they are late. I am late. Okay, these 2 ladies are not late. I am late because I was still watching this episode. Okay. Dolores says, "Hello, ladies. I'm still watching them. I'm not sure why, but I'm still watching."
Great. Okay. So us 4 and Taylor.
Because you are in it with us, Dolores. We have made a commitment and we're going to see it through.
Jessica is still here, still with us. Well, let's talk about this episode. This first episode was called Betrayal and Regret. Was there really betrayal and regret in this episode?
Nathan felt he was betrayed, and then Alyssa was regretful. So
I actually completely forgot what the plot was about that episode. So it actually was about betrayal and regret. So we kind of cut back into moments after the sail away ceremony, and we say here that Kendra says it's kind of awkward, the energy between Alyssa and Nathan, because they're both still there, but she kind of decided to move on with Dustin, who we were saying, I believe, a couple weeks ago that there wasn't a vibe there at all. But I think that she just was not getting anything from Nathan, and so that's why she's kind of like, well, let me try something new. What do you think about the fact that they're both still in the house, because Sarah thought she had a chance with Nathan?
I personally liked Dustin with her, personally. I thought he had a better vibe. I thought he seemed better for her than Nathan. But she sat there and let Nathan reel her back in.
Yeah.
And good, like Sarah should have dropped Dean for anybody, basically.
For
sure.
Yeah, that's true.
So I understood her going with Nathan. They had a date. It seemed to be a good vibe. Unfortunately for her, he again was leaning into his regrets, in regret that that she dropped him, and instead of him keep snowing her until the end to try to win. So
yeah, I definitely don't think that he was really hurt by the fact, I think his ego was a bit bruised, and he wanted to make her pay.
I mean, but he says it too. He says it to like in his confessional when he's on the date with Tyler, that his connection with Tyler was way better than any connection that he had with the other two. And it's like, I agreed with him.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see a big difference in his actions and how he treated her, and all of that. So you knew he was just playing the game just to get along. You know what I mean? And Alyssa really didn't regret, because she knew he didn't have feelings for her. She just let him say he was hurt, and then she felt like she looked like the bad person. So then all of a sudden she was like, oh, I didn't even, if he's hurt, that meant he felt something, and I didn't know he felt something, and now I'm regretful.
She's definitely uninvolved, because, or has not very much experience, because he was just so obviously just ego bruised, as opposed to hurt from her and them breaking up. She couldn't read the room at all.
Well, it's also not necessarily her fault, because Sarah was there throwing the knife in the entire episode. Well, Nathan would absolutely pick you. He wants you back. She's like, no, I don't think that's the case. Yes, it's the case.
No, Sarah. I thought Sarah was saying there's absolutely no way he's gonna pick you.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. She wanted him to. She thought he was gonna pick her. She
Sarah,
said, yeah, that we have a connection.
I'm gonna find it, because I definitely think. Well, what I wrote down was, Sarah. I was Sarah, something like Sarah's making. Sarah, I didn't listen to it. Oh, where is it? Something no matter what I was saying, that Sarah was making Alyssa feel like crap about the fact that Nathan has moved on from her. That's kind of the impression that I got.
Okay, then that's conflicting with what she was saying in her confessional. Because
in her confessional, she might not have been sure, but she wanted Alyssa to think that she was very sure that Nathan was going to pick her over Alyssa. She was trying to make Alyssa feel like, oh, well, you did it now. He ain't going to take you back. Because she was like, he's never coming back to you after that. She was basically trying to say, you bruised his ego. Even if he wanted to, he's not. He's never coming back after that.
He wasn't.
Just because Sarah was saying Nathan would pick her over Alyssa. Two lost peas in a pod. Yep. They're just
I don't think it was between Sarah and Tyler. I think it would have been between Alyssa and Tyler.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I don't
But
think
I
that there was
felt like it was
anything
no
with Sarah.
competition with Tyler.
No, there was no
just
competition with Tyler.
So what else happened? So yes, Nathan has a forced conversation with Sarah. So like I just really didn't feel like they had a vibe at all. Obviously Sarah needed to choose anybody, but like, and the producers were probably like, this would probably make better TV, so just choose Nathan instead of sticking it through with Dean.
Right.
And so, but their conversation was really forced. He's not really that great at having a conversation, but you can
No.
see that he's better at having a conversation with Tyler, so that he is capable of at least not seeming so like wooden. You know,
Exactly.
he's just so wooden and just like so bored. Like he just needs some life in him, and
Yes.
he definitely doesn't have that life when he's talking to Sarah, in my opinion. So Crete is their next port, which is beautiful, another beautiful country that they're in. And we see Dustin is going to support Alyssa. And I don't actually think that they are vibing at all. I think that she just kind of wanted to move on. And I gotta feel bad for Dustin just for the fact that, like,
because he really was trying to give it some effort. Like he was
Mhm.
willing to put in the effort, but she had checked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was not putting in any more effort after that point, I don't think. We see Shaylin wants to win the next challenge because she wants to feel even more connected to Daniel by winning the opportunity to have that presidential suite, the room, some more time together, fantasy suite. And they're competitive. So I was like, okay, they're probably going to win this challenge. I wouldn't be surprised here.
I like competitive people.
Wait, Sophie wants to know, do we think there'll be a season 2? Good question.
No.
I have no idea.
If so, Sophie, they have to revamp it.
So Jessica is agreeing with you, Tamika, thinking that Alyssa and Dustin could have had something way more than her and Nathan. I do, but I think that she's just in the place in her life where she's choosing people that don't want her. You know what I mean?
Emotionally unavailable.
Like, yeah, exactly. And you feel like you just want to work on it to make a breakthrough, and that they're gonna love you eventually, and like, you settle for crumbs. And so I don't think that she would even allow at this point in her life Dustin to be someone that she's attracted to, because she's interested, like, that's not what she's interested in right now.
Right.
No,
not right now. She's too young. These people are young. He's older. So he's going to be coming at it in a mature way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but that was the same thing with Jonathan. Like, from she let Jonathan go, because to me, he seemed to be everything she kept trying to say on paper. I was just like done with her.
You already knew at that point.
Yeah.
You were like, she ain't for real.
No, she's not.
No, I mean, she's saying what she thinks she needs to say, but her actions are not lining up with what she's saying that she wants at all. Kendra also wants to win this challenge because she wants some more alone time with Jordan. Are they growing on me?
Are they?
I think so.
Because I thought Jordan was really putting on for the camera with that. I think I'm a cry type. Come on.
I don't get that part, but I didn't believe that. No, but like just them as like, because before I was just like, I don't believe him at all, anything, and I don't believe that they're together. But like, I'm kind of okay with them being a couple. It seems like they might even date. You know what I mean?
No, I believed him when he said he was going to cry. I believe that he did not want to leave the game.
I didn't want to leave the game.
But that being said, I have always liked them as a couple. I've always liked them as a couple. And so if they're growing on you, I can understand why.
So a better man.
Oh yes, he's such a better man. Well, and it's a possibility for them to like actually date because they live far away from each other. Like that would be like an 11-hour flight, but like it's still in Canada, so it's not that wild.
Okay, that's good.
I think he's in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken, or at Alberta, and she's on the East Coast. So it's across country, which is far, but still in Canada. So that's.
But what are their occupations? I forget.
He's a firefighter.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know, club promoter. I'm not knocking club promoters. I've been.
No, he said he was a firefighter.
Yeah, he's a firefighter. Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know
And
what
what
she
is
does.
she
I
on
I
that?
don't
forgot.
know, an influencer. No, I don't know actually. I don't remember what she is. Let me know. And I also, if anybody in the chat knows their signs, I would like to know their signs, please. But I don't know if this show is popular enough for people to have done any sleuthing yet. You know what I mean?
Any real digging?
Yeah. Like, but I
She's
would.
an advertise. She's an ad consultant, so she
Okay.
could
Oh,
travel. She could travel.
She can travel. He can't really. He's kind of going to be like, they
No,
usually
he
do like a
can't. That's
4
what I
days
was
right.
on,
gonna
4
say.
days off
He
type
can't
thing.
travel. Yeah,
But, if
no,
it's a
but
4
she
days
could
off
travel.
type schedule, like 4 days to have like a little trip across the country, but she could probably visit him.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be upset if they decide to continue their relationship onward. So we have the next competition, and I think my favorite part about this show actually is the competitions. It really reminds me, especially the next episode, of The Amazing Race when they did. It was like the dating addiction edition. Um, it was like it was
Mhm.
like blind date edition. And so they didn't know anybody that they're going to be running the race with, and like they were just connected with people to like run around. And so I kind of liked the idea of like, ooh, a dating amazing race, new
Yeah.
relationships. I'm like, I like this. This is
Yeah.
kind of fun. So I'm enjoying some of these challenges, and this one was, it was kind of like the actual challenge, where they had to swim out to a kayak and then paddle to these puzzle pieces, dive down, get the puzzle bag, go and create a puzzle. It was literally like a challenge from
Yeah.
MTV's The Challenge,
Yeah. It
and I
was.
enjoyed it. So, what do you
I
guys think
did
about
too.
Yeah,
this challenge?
yeah.
You
I
agree?
said that they might have sent it to Paramount just a hair too early because it would have fit right in with the Amazing Race and
Mhm.
like that kind of foot race and and then like all of them trying to like get in front of each other and I was like, okay, like now we're starting to see why it would have been more of a competition show.
Yes,
But
they need
Right.
to
I
lean
feel
into
like they should
competition show, I think.
yeah, 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 I agree.
They have to fix their format. They do.
They really do.
They
Yeah.
do.
They really do.
Because there's some good points about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
like the challenges. I like them going from different ports. I think they need to stay in each port maybe for 2 episodes or something so
Yes.
people can go
It's
on
hard to
dates.
make a decision about getting rid of the person you're already with for somebody that you haven't even known but for 6 hours because they make them separate so early and then and then they can't meet back up to the morning. We found that out, like, so I think that's just you got to give them more time. It's
Yes.
not hard. It's
I,
hard to
I
make
think
decisions.
the issue is, as far as I know, I think they canceled an existing cruise to do this show.
Mm.
So the ports were already itined. They were already like mapped out. And it's
Okay,
really hard to adjust the schedule once they
that's
are.
fine.
So going forward, you could do that now that you
You
know that
ports
that's what
then.
to
Who
do.
cares?
Yeah, like you can schedule it. Okay, we're gonna
Right.
be in Manila or whatever from this day to this day and do this to this. So less ports, stay in the port and then leave. But
Or
um,
do 2 ports with the same couples.
right. True.
Like, I mean,
I
is that is
know.
it is
I
that
think
that
that
bad?
might be hard because I don't know how many suites cabins they're keeping for the show.
I mean, the production can pay for them.
Right.
It
Like,
has to be lucrative for them to be paying for extra cabins. Is what I'm
but
saying.
like, if they make the show better, it's better for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like the problem, like they're gonna have people occupying those rooms anyways, right? Like, they have all these people that are ready to come in. They have to have room and space for them. So I just don't see that having a room when they probably have locked off a quarter of the vessel for the show. Like, I just don't see that that's going to be money. It would be peanuts in comparison to the other expenses I would assume that they're having.
Right, because what's going to happen is you can pay for more rooms for a shorter amount of time. If you have more contestants on there at a time, you're getting more footage, more drama. If you got 20 people on there at a time versus you had 7 at a time, like is these pair, these pair, these pair, and we keep dropping off at the port. But if all of a sudden you got 30 people, 15 girls and boys, and you're mixing it, all that
I'm like,
drama.
I got so excited. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you have all of that drama. So it might only be a 2-week cruise, but you got 12 episodes worth of drama versus going on a 6-week cruise with just 10 people. Because you
with Marty and Emily.
Marty and Emily, and now she's talking about she's seeing a new side of him. And all
Well,
he
I
said
see
was,
that side of him. It's not really.
I mean, I don't think that's a new side though. Like, that side's been there.
Yeah, she's already actually mentioned that there was some. Remember, she didn't want to kiss him. When she didn't want to kiss him, and he's just staring at her, like she got the ick that day. We saw it. She got the ick, and now everything is probably giving her the ick even more.
He tried to grab her hand after that bizarre thing, and she wouldn't even let him. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, they done. Dolores says, I think that if they had that, if I was on that cruise as just a regular passenger, this was my vacation, they were filming the show, I would be upset because it appears they block big portions of the decks.
They do. That's what I'm trying to say. It literally has to be already making money for them to be doing that, because you're basically taking away from paying customers. If they would have to pay a lot more. They would.
I mean, I'm sure they do, or else the boats wouldn't be doing it, right? I know production pays a lot of money for these things. For instance, I've been asked to have my apartment be used for production, and they'll pay you like $1,000 a day and put you up in a hotel. So that's just me and my little old apartment. Like I would imagine that they would have hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to be giving to a big promotion for this cruise line, I would say too. So I don't know. It's not working. What they're doing, it's not working. I don't think there's going to be a season 2 to speculate about anyways. But if there was one, I think they need more people on the cruise at the same time. Buy the whole damn thing.
Exactly.
Like, make it actually the whole thing a singles cruise, like the one that we're going to put together, right, Tamika?
Yes, Tamika.
Yes, yeah. I'm trying to find a good option for us, a good itinerary.
Interesting. Okay, what does a good itinerary mean? Like
locale. So, do we want to go to Mexico, which is actually where Joseph and Taylor took their cruise, their princess cruise? They went to Mexico. Do we want to go to Canada? You live in Canada. Do you want to go to Canada?
No, she doesn't want to go.
Right.
I would love to go on the route that this cruise is going.
So that's what I said. So, or do we want to go to Europe?
Mediterranean cruise.
So I'm trying to see what's a good option for us that is both affordable and a good itinerary.
Okay.
I'm in. I'm down. I'm down. If it can end in Spain, so I can stay in Spain for 2 weeks after, and then fly home. Like, I am down, and like I would promote the heck out of it and make every single person I know get on that cruise.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I wanted to be enticing, an enticing itinerary, because to me, I want to go to Mexico.
Right.
I don't even really.
Everybody goes to Mexico.
Yeah, I don't really want to even go to the Caribbean. I just went on a Caribbean cruise, so that's what I'm saying.
Plenty of times. Yeah, I want Mediterranean.
I've been to Dominican many times. I was actually there yesterday. I didn't stay, but I was there yesterday. I've never been to Turks and Caicos. No, I've never been.
I still want to go to
I've been to the Dominican Republic on my cruise just now. Very nice. I did not get to Grand Turks because when I went a few years ago on a cruise, it actually got washed out by hurricane. I always say hurricane season. I know I'm crazy, but it actually got washed out by a hurricane. So I did not get to go to the Turks and Caicos, but I do like the Caribbean. Do not get me wrong. Southern Caribbean, probably my favorite itinerary. That being said, I don't know if that's enticing to bring singles on compared to love in the Mediterranean.
Love in the Mediterranean.
Love in the
Yes, because when you get off at those ports, like going into Spain would be so fun. Like Spanish men are very handsome. Like, you know what I mean? I think it just would have the vibe
It's
going
just
into
a
Europe.
different
Yes.
vibe. Different vibe.
I mean,
Mhm.
I love that. I've been a lot of places in the Caribbean, so I think that also could be great. But
Yeah.
I think personally, I think I would want to do a European cruise for my first cruise
Mm-hmm.
because I just think that it would just be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So fun.
And for my 11th cruise, I would like to do a Mediterranean cruise. Like I've been on so many cruises, but I've never done a Mediterranean cruise. So
So, Dolores is going to the Dominican Republic in April. Never been there. Looking forward to it. I mean, it's lovely there.
yes,
Beautiful.
Where are you staying, Dolores? You're staying at the Royalton? Royalton. I think they have a new Royalton there. I think I heard that. Okay, what else with this episode? So we had this competition. I thought this was fun competition. And Sarah flips a kayak, and all I was thinking is like, Nathan got the ick. You flipped that boat, he got the ick so quick.
He's like, she's not active. I need somebody active. Because that's his favorite thing to say.
I love that Shaylin grew up on a lake, and so she knows water, so she's a good swimmer. Because, like, I was surprised that she was the one that was diving down as opposed to Nathan. Sorry, as opposed to Daniel, just because usually guys it's easier to like kind of kick themselves and go down. And so I was impressed that she went down and pulled out the puzzle pieces. So for the most part, Shaylin and Daniel were in first place for I think the whole
thing.
race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan and Kendra were second at one point. Alyssa and Dustin were third. Marty and Emily in fourth. And because of that capsized boat, Nathan and Sarah were last place for a while. And that also probably gave him the ick. He's like, oh, I'm not winning with you. I'm like, ooh.
At least we could win. Listen, I'm not into you, but at least we could win some competition.
Right.
Come on.
Right? And he's like, oh, we can't? Okay, got someone else. We need someone else here. So Shaylin and Daniel, our couple, is the victors here. They win this competition. And that means that Daniel is going to get to have first pick at the Sailaware ceremony. What were we going to say?
Oh, I was screaming. I was like,
I wonder who I'm going to pick when I go first. That's
I see no one else that you are going to pick, Mr. Daniel. So there's a little cocktail party, and Jerry and Rebecca show up and talking about it's important to list relationship. What was I talking about?
He said it was important to what?
List?
To test. I thought it was test.
Oh, it was test. My T looked like an I. Okay, I see. To test a relationship. Yes. I'm like, what am I writing? I didn't write that. That's why. And so meet Sydney. She is 24 from the Midwest, and she's goofy. Do we like goofy?
Everybody claims they're goofy, and we never get to see the goofy side of them. Stop saying that.
I'm goofy.
I'm not goofy at all.
No, I'm not goofy. I like to laugh, but I'm not
I
goofy.
love laughing, but I'm not goofy. Yeah, so I've tried to be goofy before, and it just does not work for me.
Nah. And I don't like a lot of goofiness either. And men, like, I'm trying to date, like, no, I don't like that.
Well,
So,
I like
not
funny
me.
though. What's the difference between funny and goofy?
Funny
what's his
just
name was Goofy? The one with that Kate let go. What was his name?
Jordan. I mean, not Jordan. Jacob.
No, that's Bachelor of
Kate?
Paradise.
Oh, I thought you said Kate let go. Oh, sorry. Anyways,
what's her name?
funny can
Who's
be
Kate?
to me. Funny can be
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah.
Funny can be like, either dry sense of humor or just like dead on funny, like
Hilarious.
ha 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 ha.
Never like
Goofy.
very funny.
Yeah. Like goofy to me is just like the person is just odd, but it's odd in a way that attracts you to them or is attractive to you. So like like my podcast, I'm a passionate eclectic. So I don't necessarily think about things or do things that other people necessarily think about doing. And so people are always like, "Oh my God, Tamika, you're like you're so funny sometimes," because they like I'll just bring out stuff that they would not even think of. That's to me the difference between the two.
See, when I think of goofy, I just think of somebody that doesn't take things seriously
Yes.
and like uh they maybe say things that are inappropriate just to get a reaction. Like I just don't think
Yeah.
I feel like they're just not serious. But it's different from
Yeah,
what you
like when
think
you're
goofy
goofing
is.
around, like when you say somebody's goofing around, like if you watched Amazing Race and like Claire was like, Derek, stay focused, like stop playing, stop goofing around, like it's time to get serious, like like you're trying to focus and they just keep doing dumb stuff. I don't know, I don't like Goofy.
Right, I think Tamika, you think of goofy as different. I think you think it is as how would I describe it? Relax, not relax. I don't know. I'm gonna figure out I don't think you're goofy, but yeah, I don't from what I think goofy is, anyways, because I think
Yeah, I
goofy is
guess
just not taking
it
things
depends
seriously,
on how
and I think you take
everybody.
things seriously. So
Yeah,
okay, so Dolores says Goofy reminds me of a cartoon Mickey Mouse character Goofy, right? I
yeah,
can't see me dating Goofy. That's
right.
true. Okay, I
I love
definitely
Goofy.
I don't know. I mean, he's fine, but he's not my thing. Okay,
Hello, the Goofy movie.
stop it.
Oh, I haven't seen the Goofy movie.
Okay, I can't date because I'm married 30 years tomorrow. Oh, congratulations.
Oh, happy early
That's
anniversary!
amazing.
That's amazing.
There's
Can
a
I
difference
get
between
to
a sense of
30
humor
dates? Okay.
and goofy, a big difference. Right, I agree. But also when I think of other things that are termed goofy, when you're riding with the opposite leg forward, when you're like either skateboarding or you're snowboarding, that's
Hmm.
called riding goofy. So I'm like, what
I've
is
never
goofy?
heard of them.
Really? Yeah. So that
Yeah.
like
Maybe
skateboarding is
I don't snowboard, so maybe that's why.
so skateboarding though. Like usually, I think most people have their I can't remember which foot forward. Their right foot forward, I think, is the normal stance, and anybody that rides with their left foot forward is riding goofy. So, I guess it's just a little bit odd. For an odd person can be goofy, but I don't know. I think just don't take things seriously is how I picture goofy personally. Okay, well, they have a cocktail party. And so we meet Sydney, as I mentioned, and then we meet Tyler, who's 27, and she used to be in the army. She is really, really pretty.
She is.
um, she's gorgeous. Is that what you said?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
gorgeous. She's
so
gorgeous.
pretty. Pretty shocking to hear that she married her high school sweetheart at 18 and has already
Right.
been divorced. I was like, wow, I mean, life experience, absolutely. But I was surprised that she's already had that experience and she's so young still.
And that's what I said too about Dan appreciating him
Right.
being engaged young. Usually they do just go ahead and go through with it, but the fact that they were able to figure out like this is not the best thing for us, but he also took it similarly as a life experience of what to have and to do in his next relationship and for the real wife that he wants. I think that's a testament to him because yes, getting married at 18 and um you know it's literally a hit or miss.
Yeah,
Literally.
because she said that she wanted the reason why she joined the service military. She wanted some type of structure and stuff.
Mhm.
So maybe she
Was
thought, if I become a family person, a wife, I join the military, I'm gonna be
get the
grounded
family
and
that she
serious.
wanted to have.
Right, structure, But she was out there cheating, I guess.
Oh. So Kendra is worried that because Sydney is blonde, and that's a red flag, though I would say on their relationship. Like if you're worried, another blonde is coming in, like she's her hair color is going to be more of a sell than our relationship and personality. So I was just like, it's a little weak, but I
Yeah.
appreciate just feeling a little bit.
She knows the
insecure.
flesh is weak when it comes to Jordan. She knows that.
Possibly. Nathan, though, talking to Marty, thinks that both women are attractive. I mean, they are. What did you think Sydney was pretty?
Mm-hmm.
She was a bit average to
Yeah,
me.
it's average.
I think Kendra's prettier. She has more striking features to me.
I agree. The girls have a little chat. Alyssa still has strong feelings for Nathan. And that's what I said. Sarah doesn't think that she has a chance. Yeah. So I was like, Alyssa, you just get off this ship. Like literally. Because the Nathan ship has sunk.
Yeah.
It's capsized. Literally. So there's many dates that are going on with Tyler and Nathan and Dustin and Sydney. Sydney's talking about how she's not that much of a traveler, and he's kind of agreeing. I didn't really see a connection with Sydney and Dustin, but I did see a little bit of a something with Nathan and Tyler. There's a little mini spark, maybe. At the captain's table, we have our favorite couple, Daniel and Shay. And Shay is just like, I missed you to the captain, which I thought was really cute because like they just keep on winning and having, the opportunity to be at the captain's table. And I think last week they didn't, or the week before they hadn't. So that's probably why she missed him so much.
Yeah.
And so the captain was asking them, like, how did you feel about the fact that there's these two women? Like, if, like, say you didn't win this challenge, how would you feel Daniel being introduced to these other women? And she's like, safe. She's like, I trust him. And so I think that she feels very secure in their relationship.
Yeah.
You guys are both nodding? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny how it was absolutely the starkest contrast between how she felt and how Kendra felt in this episode. And just how that like kind of went with where their heads were at this episode. And I understand like her thought process. It's like, I trust him. Like, and so if I trust, I can, because again, we're all beautiful people here. Obviously, somebody's going to come on here and want. So I'm sure in her head, as soon as Tyler or the other girl walked in, she's like, okay, one of them's going to want him. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, of course she's going to think that, because why wouldn't they? But it's all about how you approach it with the person you're with. Like, okay, they may want you, but are you going to entertain this, or have we come far enough that you're not even going to entertain it?
Right.
Jessica says Kendra and Jordan would fit right in on Love Island with all that hair color talk. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think that's actually something that Taylor said in her tweet too. Like, the first thing you're talking about is the blondes and only about blonde without personality. And it's like, I don't, please, let's not.
You got to think about who she's dealing with. Jordan is not a person that's usually, like swayed by personality. It's all about looks, and, he's cheated in every relationship he's been in. And so,
I wonder if they're all blondes. Jordan and Sydney have a little bit of a conversation. And I don't know who said it, but they feel like there's a vibe between them. And so I hated in his confessional. He's like, I'm here on the Love Boat. I have to be tested. I'm like, I don't like the way any of these guys on these dating reality shows, they feel that they need to be tested. Like, I just never agree with them. I'm like, yes, having someone new come in, I understand, like, to see if like you're attracted to them, but like they seem to want to just break it off with the person that they're kind of being with, and going all in on somebody else is the way that they're going to be tested. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't seem, I don't know. I just don't like them using the word. Remember who was saying tested word? Dammy was saying tested.
Also saying it. Like Jerry and Rebecca are also saying.
I was just gonna say. I said the problem is it's not just them saying it, because even the captain said it, Matt said it, and Jerry and Rebecca are saying it, and it's. I understand that was probably the theme of this episode, but it's unnecessary.
Tested. Tested. Well, Shaylin feels that Daniel treats her really well, and she feels like they're in a solid couple. And I agree that they're in a solid couple, and she wants to continue with the relationship after the ship, which I think is really great. He comes back with like a lot of really great lines. He's like, I want to add to your greatness. That's
I
that's
like
it.
that.
That's the
I
line.
like
That's
that.
good. That's
I like
that's
that.
good.
He's
I want
26, but he has some knowledge.
that's a good thing to say.
It is.
Like
So the other thing, I know I keep talking about her. The other thing she tweeted was
yeah.
she saw the video of Shaylin saying like, "I date older men." Like what is this? And, like she's like attracted to this 25-year-old, and she's like, Shaylin is she and I are each other. Like she is me, and I said yes because I'm telling you, younger men
Oh
they
yeah,
can
that's
have
right.
it.
I forgot you're
So
on this younger man kick.
and so we know that Taylor is currently in a relationship with Joseph, who Taylor is going to be 28 at the end of the month of December, and it turned 25 during their season.
Oh,
And so, kind of the same age difference
Difference.
between them and Shaylin and Daniel. And I'm telling you, if you watch the lives that Joseph done, because I'm a subscriber to his lives, the man is on it. The
yeah.
energy
That's
he
the
brings,
key. So they chose very mature
that's what I'm trying to tell
gentlemen,
But if I was
very mature
29, it
gentlemen.
would be more likely that maybe I could find someone 3 years younger than me, like someone that I might want to invest some time in. I don't know though if I could do a 26-year-old right now. You know what I mean? Like, or if I
Right.
Oh
No,
first,
no,
I
I've
can't.
I've
No, I
already
can't. I
said
can't.
I would never date somebody in their 20s. No matter how hot they are, no matter sex would probably be fucking good. I'm sorry, I can't do it, and it's
You would jump
mostly
their bones, just not date them, but
no,
you would
I
jump their bones.
not worth it to me. I'll find an older guy and do the same thing. The reason for me is that my daughter's in her 20s. Like I like ew, ew,
like,
no.
she should be dating someone that age. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
like I don't. Why am I in my daughter's dating pool? Are you
Right.
fucking kidding me?
I
So
didn't know your
Dolores
daughter
is
was in
wondering
her
if
20s.
testing is a code for wandering.
It's a code for we're not committed.
Right.
But the one thing though is that sometimes you do need to be committed, and the test should be that you aren't going to wander, right?
Right.
Like
Right,
that should be the test, is that
right.
somebody would come
Instead
in
of
that you
testing the
maybe
water.
has blonde hair and you love blondes, and like you, the test is that you feel more comfortable and strong in the relationship that you are in, and you don't wander. You know, you
Right.
you pursue who you're already interested in. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm sick of this test word though,
Yeah,
because
I,
it's
I I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to either you know you want to be with that person, or you're still open to something. And we even see Bachelor, like right now, it's this biggest thing. Like Eliza is very much stuck on the fact that she is correct in her conversation with Rodney. He should have told her not to go on the date, and he's basically like, but I said to you, I did not want you to go, but if you were still open to somebody else, go on the date. And that's
absolutely.
what she did. And she's saying to me that she said on clickbait, and she said it online. She's saying for her, it felt like that means that he wasn't committed to her. But to me, that sounds like you weren't committed to
To
him.
him.
I mean, if there was somebody that I was super interested in and someone asked me about on the date, I'd be like, okay, like I don't really want to go on this date, but like this person asked me, how do you feel about it? And like,
Okay.
and you know what I mean? And be like, okay, I'm not gonna go. Like, I don't like if it's gonna do anything. Like, I don't want to interfere with what we have going on here. I just wanted to run it by you just to see, because like I'm in this position and I'm not gonna go. Don't worry. Like it's fine. I just need to talk to you about it.
Right.
And then
Because
it would
my
be done
feelings,
and you wouldn't
my
go.
feelings aren't contingent on your feelings. If I like you and I want to be with you, I don't have to have you say a certain thing to me. I've already made up my mind. I don't want to go. I like what we have. I don't have to have you beg me not to go or tell me not to go
Do
for
you
me
know
not
how
to
much of a
go.
turnoff that would be for me? So begging
She
me not
still
to
should have
go.
went on the date. I'm just saying she needs to realize that it was on her to
Yeah, of
say
course.
I'm open or not to this date. Not
Um,
Rodney.
Right.
so Shaylin and Daniel go into the captain's suite or whatever it's called, and the slow jams that were going that started to play, and it was like wow, wow, like it was like I don't know who it was. It was like Muzak slow jams, and then he says like, "Oh, she keeps on saying things to me like I want to jump your bones." That must be
First
a
of all, that
Canadian
is
thing.
not Canadian. We say that over here in America. I mean, it's very old school, but I mean, we said that. He was like, that must be a Canadian thing. I'm
I
like,
think he was joking. I don't even know if she even said
I
that.
don't know. 25-year-olds might
I
not really have heard that and
you
phrase.
no.
And I was like, "Oh my god!" Well, when I was watching that scene, I'm like, "I know that term. Is it a Canadian
Say he's American though. Like maybe Canadian 25-year-old might not know, but
thing?" Maybe, but like, jump your bones seems like it's a very normal thing, but
Right.
I guess not. Or maybe, yeah, maybe 25 is like the cap on knowing that turn of
Right.
phrase. But then you're hearing the slow jam music and the waterfalls, and they're like spraying up. I'm like, so the editors, and the cinematographers. Okay, so the OG girls are chatting with the new girls, and we learn that Kendra and Sarah are both nervous because the new girls are saying that they have connections with their men. So nervous. So Matt and Kendra, no, that's not right.
Matt and
And Ezra,
yes.
right? Matt and Ezra chat, and they're thinking like, "Ooh, maybe a salsa date for Nathan and Tyler," and then, "Ooh, should we maybe put together Dustin and Sarah?" Um, And so Sarah is a little bit nervous about Nathan. And I think it's because of the fact that she knows that she doesn't really have a connection with
Next to
Nathan. And if like what's her name? Tyler
Tyler.
is saying that we have a connection, like I would probably be worried if I was Sarah because
Right.
she knows she doesn't have one
Right.
at all. Oh, Mary's like not watching Love Island. Was a choice, a wrong one, but I get it. Listen, I'm not watching it because I don't want to. It's not something that's readily on my TV, so I forget about it. Have you guys watched any of it yet, or no?
No.
I'd
I
have
haven't
to
even
seek
gotten
it
to the
out. And
UK.
I'm listen.
Like
I
this
was
is
in
hard to
LA.
find. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I was in LA last weekend. I'm going to Philly this weekend. I don't have time to be searching up for Love Island Australia. I'm sorry.
is it on 10 Play, Mary? If it's on, I mean, I'm sure it's giving. I'm sure it's great, but I'll have to binge it at another time. I just don't have time to watch it.
Just
I'm
not
usually
listen.
so
I haven't
serious.
watched. I haven't watched The Mole, which I wanted to watch. I haven't watched Love Is Blind, which I wanted to watch. I have.
I'm
There
behind
are
Love Is
so
Blind.
many. My
Yeah.
Christmas movies. I am behind.
Me too. On my Hallmark Christmas movies, I am behind on that. Man, I am behind on that. It's so
I'm
much stuff
sorry.
to watch.
It's just too much things to watch, and I firmly plant the blame on Bachelor in Paradise. I firmly plant the
Actually, that's
blame.
my
Because
time
it
has
should
been
be
eaten
one
up,
day a week. It should be one day a week.
or it should
You
be
can watch
over.
other stuff.
I
Well, we
need
only
it
have
to
one more
end.
week. Thank goodness. Thank
Well, and also
I
like
need
we
it
put
to
in our
end.
time with like Gabby and Rachel's season. Like
No,
I would have had the energy maybe to source out Love Island Australia if I didn't have to watch Bachelor in Paradise for 4 hours every week.
4 hours.
It's a lot,
Every-
and then
plus
an
the
hour and a
recap.
half, recap, 2 hour recap. Like
It's a lot.
it's hard.
It's a
It's a
lot.
lot. And I also started flying again, and so that is taking up a lot more of my time too.
Right.
So, like, then I have to be like, oh my god, I have to remember to download this TV show to watch it while I'm on the plane. Like, it's hard. I'm sorry, Mary. I will
But
try.
Mary, it's all pre-recorded. We're not necessarily missing anything live. If we want to go back, just like we're having Miss TJoy go back and watch Love Island UK, the OG, to catch her up for the new season,
Yeah.
we can do it. That is if we can find the time.
Right.
We will see.
And like I'm also doing like I'm watching the Challenge Australia right now too.
Oh, are you? That's like
Yeah.
4 times a week, right?
Well, I've only watched the first episode so far. I did a watch party. Episode 2 had come out. I haven't watched that yet. I was thinking of maybe watching it later on today or tomorrow afternoon. And I'm not sure if another episode has come out on top of that yet. So I think it's 3 episodes a week, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But it's kind of good.
Yeah,
But
I can't do it.
it's hard. It's hard. Okay, but Mary, thank you for like reminding me. I am going to do my best to get on it and get caught up because if it gets too far away from me, then it's way too daunting to catch up. So I'm going to try. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, back to this episode. Where are we? So Sarah is going to do what she has to do to stay on this show. So she is having a date with Justin, and she is feeding him strawberries. And I love the fact that he's like, I don't know if there's anything going on. I don't know if I trust her. Like he sussed it out that she might be.
His gut is like, nah, she want to stay here to play around with Nathan. She don't want me.
Yeah, no, not at all. She definitely says that she's using Dustin, and it didn't work. So that's good. Because I wouldn't want to necessarily see that tactic work, really. Like, I understand wanting to stay on the show, but blatantly, like, using someone, it felt a little bit icky to me.
I was not happy with it.
Yeah?
I was not happy with it. Like, it was rude.
So Nathan and Tyler are dancing. So Nathan dances at the beginning, and I think that dancing there was goofy in the beginning. That's something that you're into, Mika?
Not me.
So anyways, I wrote, oh Lord,
if Nate's twin was doing it.
If who?
If Nate's twin was doing it.
Oh my God. He wouldn't be doing it like that.
And I think that's the only time he showed him on his thing. And it was like, and it was
only tag him. It's like tag him so I can follow him.
He hasn't tagged him nothing.
He knows better. He knows
better.
Yes, Jessica, we respected Dustin as well. Yeah. And I think it's because he's a little bit older. Like these games, like he's seen some of these games before in his lifetime. So yeah, I definitely was happy that he was seeing through Sarah. I really wonder if maybe, wouldn't it be great if it was like, instead of the next bachelorettes were Nate and his twin were the bachelors?
So instead of Joey and Justin, nobody wants to see them. Bring Nate and his twin.
Nate and his twin as the bachelors?
I would be applying. I don't care.
We might actually get a full black couple on there.
Higher chances for sure.
Higher chances.
Because I think the twin
would be so good.
Listen, I liked Joe Millionaire. I liked how they did it. I thought they did a good job. It wasn't necessarily any more successful than The Bachelor, but I still think it was interesting. I had a good time watching it, and they actually did a good job. But I think it's the men. The men's picker is off because literally the one guy who wasn't the millionaire ended up right back to his number 2 because he should have picked her in the first place. That was the person he wanted in the place. And then the millionaire has ended up with his number 2, and so we just keep seeing these men going back to their number 2. It's like a history thing. We see it on The Bachelor. I don't know what it is, but
because they're picking with their eyes, knowing what they really need and what they're compatible with. Instead of them really picking that, they get bedazzled with the looks and stuff. I
think that's what Kurt did. I think Kurt tried to not pick with his eyes and pick with his sexual attraction and pick with who he had chemistry with. And he went with the person that in his brain he should bring home to mother. And he was wrong.
Wait, so who did he end up picking again?
Oh God, what's her name? The rich girl.
Oh, the blonde girl, right?
Yes,
but he wanted Carolyn, right?
He wanted Carolyn.
So he's with Carolyn now?
No, because she wouldn't take him back, but he did try.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I didn't think that she was, a little bit calculated, absolutely, but he was into her, and he should have just gone with who he was into. But yeah, you're right. But let's talk another round of like Nate and his twin brother for bachelors. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we're the only ones that would agree that that would be a really good season. People be like, "Oh my god, he's so good. Oh my god, he's
Oh
so.
my god!
Oh
To
my god,
me,
he's so
they are good looking in two different ways that it works.
absolutely."
It
Whereas,
works.
what's
Hello,
it?
it works.
Jordan, Jason,
Joey and
Jason.
Justin.
Joey.
Okay, them two. They look the same. Throw them out the window.
Exactly.
Neither one of them are good enough to me that they should be leading a show. No, sorry.
And
No.
they're very young too.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Like they would like Nate and his brother. We don't even
Think
know his
about
name.
this. They could even bring Gabby back for a cameo, and all of a sudden she's changed her mind
No.
about being a
Doesn't
stepmom.
she hate
Just
him?
to sprinkle it in there, even though it might not be true. Just to sprinkle it in there for effect, to draw
I
more
don't know.
people in.
I don't know if she would do that, but it seemed like she's moved on it already too. So there's
Which
that.
that's we need to. We'll talk about all that next
Okay.
week too, because that's also very interesting for sure. For sure. So Jordan's talk. Wait, where am I? Is that where I am? Oh, so they're dancing, whatever. They're doing the dip, and there's a couple of kisses.
Yes.
And one of the kisses that I saw, he kissed her properly. I was like, excuse me? Like, not these little, just like little pecks or whatever that he was giving to Alyssa. He gave her like, I want to sleep with you kind of kiss.
Yeah.
I was like,
There was a lot of chemistry to me.
Yeah.
I agree.
And to me, he wasn't even full on dancing with her, but he made sure those kisses landed.
He just wanted to do that dip, girl. He wasn't worried about that other dancer. He just wanted to dip and kiss. Dip
But
and
it's
kiss.
probably Alyssa's like smushy lips. Like she has like very kissable lips. And like he's probably like, oh my god, this feels good. But yeah, he looked like he wanted to kiss her for sure. So Nathan has been slightly less stiff with Tyler than Alyssa, absolutely. Yep. But that goes to show that he just did not like Alyssa that much. Exactly. It was not about him not wanting to open up with anyone. Absolutely. He didn't want to open up with her, with you, Alyssa. He wasn't into you. He's just not that into you. Jordan and Sydney have a little mini date, and he doesn't want to regret anything. And I'm like, Jordan... Don't piss me off, Jordan.
Exactly. And he won't talk about nothing till they got around that corner by that elevator. He want to hug her and carrying on, thinking they out of camera view.
What did you think about Alyssa breaking up the boys' chat to pull Nathan to have a conversation, just to let her know how she's feeling, and that, you know, Dustin isn't something that she wants to have a relationship with, and you know, she regrets her decision, and she just wanted to say that she's sorry.
It was rude.
I thought it was ridiculous and rude, and this is the only reason why I think it was ridiculous and rude is, did you tell Dustin that?
Exactly.
No, well, Dustin is definitely hurt that she isn't interested in him, like romantically.
Because he said that he was thinking about her on the date he went on, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bueno. Wait, Dolores says, I am dying over here. Dip and kiss. I'm definitely going to use that phrase.
You do it, Dolores.
I mean, I don't think I've ever had a dip kiss. It doesn't actually look like it would be that good, like the dip kiss, but like the other kiss on the couch looked good. So the sail away ceremony, Daniel choosing first. No surprise. They're far away from friendship. Far away from the friend zone, but he's met a really great friend in Shay. So of course he's choosing Shay. Jordan chooses Kendra. I wasn't surprised there. There wasn't any chemistry that I really saw with him and Sydney. Marty, I'm like, Marty who? Chooses Emily.
Uh-huh.
Dustin says you got to take a risk and chooses Sydney.
Gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Risk it. Alyssa was not into you.
Came in this room and asked to speak to Nathan and ain't said nothing to me. You think I'm gonna let that disrespect stand? Oh no.
Exactly. And then Nathan chooses Tyler. So Nathan had like 3 women that were interested in him. I'm like, he's such a dud, but
Exactly.
he's a
I
dud.
do feel like he chose the better choice for him,
Absolutely.
Oh,
in my
absolutely.
opinion. Of
100%.
all 3
100%.
women that he's been with, I feel like they had the most chemistry. I feel like
Mhm.
she and him could have a more equal footing in a relationship.
Mhm.
So yes, I was happy with that choice.
Definitely. And he says it's easier for me to open up with her. And Alyssa was just like, sorry, he's just not that into you,
No,
Alyssa.
did she start like cursing? She was pissed.
She was over there mumbling something. I couldn't make it all out. What was she saying?
She was pissed.
Yes.
Oh
But
boy.
I was just like, I'm not sure why you're pissed. You did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. There was no reason to do this.
Right.
So Jessica says, I hope the reaction face they showed of Alyssa when Dustin picked Sydney was spliced in from something else. I know she better not have been mad that he didn't pick her. She was mad that he
She was
didn't pick her.
mad.
I'm sure she was still upset that he didn't pick her, to be
Absolutely. She
honest.
probably thought that she was slick,
Yep.
that she could have both, like she could still be with him and pursue Nathan. But
Yep.
Right.
mm-mm. So we see Sarah and Alyssa being eliminated, left on the port. I was kind of fast forwarding this part a little bit, but Nathan is apologizing to Sarah for not choosing her. We see Jerry dancing, and then Mr. Nathan decides to dip and kiss Tyler again. He's like, hey, Jerry, look at this.
Dip and kiss. That's his
Who
move.
knew? Who knew? So next episode, they're in Istanbul, episode 7, Friends versus Lovers. And Jordan is talking with Kendra about like the challenge, and he's like, well, I'll do the challenge for both of us. Like, I'll win this challenge for both of us. Sydney and Dustin are a new couple. No vibe there.
Nope.
She's not interested in him at all.
No.
I felt that she had the ick even. She wasn't interested in him. Shay and Daniel and Marty and Emily are talking, and they're talking about the new couples and what they think about, their potential relationship ability. And then we can see a side of Marty that we've seen a couple flashes of, but he's basically saying, like, if Emily chose someone else, I would never choose her again. And I was like, how he was saying it was just, I don't know, it wasn't it.
First of all, you wouldn't even be on the ship anymore because nobody else is going to choose you. So if she chose somebody else, you would be off at the port. So you wouldn't even have a chance to not choose her again.
Good point. There's a lot of assumptions in that.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you're assuming that you get a chance to choose her again. I don't think so. That was a huge red flag for Emily. I mean, I think her first huge red flag should have been the fact that she's got the ick when he was wanting to sleep with her in the president's suite, or captain's suite, whatever. But I don't know. I just didn't like how he was just so like rigid, and I'm wondering if though that's the vibe that that Eliza wants, is like someone to be like, you can't do that. Like, you're my woman. Like,
It's
don't
toxic. Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't know if it's toxic. This is my thing, and I've already told you, I feel like Eliza's an unevolved Taurus. Some women like that macho thing, right? They like that. They think that means that it's claiming you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I would not necessarily like somebody telling me you can't do this, you can't do that. Do I like somebody being a partner with me and voicing their opinion and allowing me my own ability to do what I want to? Yes. But that's the difference between some women and some other women. So I tell people time, there's always somebody for somebody else. That's why we have all these different personalities. It works for some people's relationships. Some women, that's what they like, that's what they need, and they have healthy relationships, and they are fine.
I mean, that's how like Scorpios have relationships that are healthy for sure, and they usually tend to like that energy of like like deep emotional connections and commitment and expectations on
Right.
relationships that other
Right.
signs would not be able to
Never,
handle, but
never
they are.
tolerate, never do. No. Yeah.
Exactly. But like they are definitely going to be able to mesh with another sign that is going to be compatible with it, like appreciating that energy. So I
Yeah.
totally get it. And I think that that's also could be why I know we're talking about Bachelor in Paradise right now, but like why both Kate and Eliza aren't like getting what they need from their people because compatibility, sign
Right.
compatibility. It just, it
And,
Mhm.
just
and on the flip side, there's some women who like a man who over them, they can run over them
Mhm.
with no problem, and not something I like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But there are some women, they love it. And listen, and people get married in those types of relationship and they last forever. So
Exactly.
it's just personalities. Like it
well,
just works for
and
whoever it works.
Emily's learning that her personality is not meshing with Marty's,
Yeah,
and
because she wants to loosen up and have more fun, and she realizes he's not the one to be doing that with.
he's not fun at all. Not even close. So we see Nathan and Tyler working out, and so I'm sure that Nathan loves the fact that she is
Fit.
interested in fitness. You know, so they talk about what made her join the army, and she talks about she felt that she needed discipline in her life, and she does say to him like, you seem like a playboy, but then he kind of explains himself a little bit, that he's like really he's loyal and he doesn't like cheating and all that stuff. It's really interesting. Like I'm not for cheating at all. Absolutely. I don't think that that's the way that you should express yourself. Whatever. I think you could fix your problems before it resorts in cheating. Absolutely. But I
Mhm.
find it very interesting how much of like how affected he is by the cheating of, I think it was his brother, and how his
Yeah.
brother reacted, that it's like kind of became a deal breaker. Even he hasn't heard about Tyler's situation yet, but like I don't know, she's 18, like in a first probably real relationship, like learning about yourself, and like seemingly he has no leniency for that. So I'm just wondering why he's so rigid about that, especially when it's something to do
I
with
think
when they're
because of the
really
trauma.
young, like 10 years
Evidently,
ago.
he says he's so close to his brother, and he was saying his brother wasn't coming out of his room. So to him, that was like a traumatic thing that happened to him because his brother's older, and he's not, but so old. So I think he didn't he say that happened like 6 years ago. So that maybe that was when he was a teenager, and at that time it was just a traumatic, thing to
An
him to see
event.
his brother not coming
Mhm.
out his room, moping around, devastated, and he was like, "What?" Because he probably thought, "Oh, he treated her so well, he loved her so much. I don't like this. This has affected
Mm,
my family life, my brother." You know what I mean? So I guess that's why.
that
And
makes
I
then,
sense.
mean, I can see that, but sometimes it's also he might not have stated it, but there might have been a trigger more personal to him, like maybe something happened to him in a, not so similar fashion, but in a way that he felt cheated on or whatever, and so he just does it, because usually like stuff like that, if it's triggering to you that much, it's a pattern somewhere in your life. Like you've either seen it a lot or you've dealt with it a lot, or you know what I mean? So either like his parents dealt with it or he,
Yeah, maybe
went
he's
through
just
it.
seeing like destruction or something that's happened in families,
mhm.
that he associates it with just cheating. Yeah. So yeah, there might be a stronger emotional center as to why
Yeah.
he's affected so much by it. I feel that. And so we do get to kind of tease though a little bit about Tyler's past, that something might have happened when she was married.
Mhm.
So the challenge, they are there, and we're learning some new things about this particular challenge, because the winner is going to decide between the two losing couples who is going to actually be going home. So
I like
that's,
this switch up a little bit. Like it's not
yeah,
just girls or guys; it's a couple. So yeah, mm,
yep,
I'm
for
with that.
sure. And so basically, they're going to be navigating a bazaar, which is also another challenge that really reminded me of The Amazing Race,
Amazing
where they
race.
had to
It did.
do certain tasks in a bazaar. I was like, this is great. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, they took it off
too soon.
Network TV.
Well, they had
Just a
these,
little
they
too
had these
early.
challenges too far down the line. They had,
Yeah.
you know,
So they have to do 3 little tasks. Like one is turn on a lamp. So at a lamp store, turn on a lamp to light up your love or something like that. They have to find 3 pieces of a puzzle ring for the intricacies of a mature relationship.
Mm-hmm.
commitment.
And then also make coffee, and the coffee's going to have salt in it, and that is for the guys to drink. So the women are make the coffee for the guys to drink. And I'm wondering if it's to mean so that you always will put up with shit. No, just,
So he said to remind you that everything is not always so sweet.
I know, I'm kidding.
Uh,
But yes. So Marty and Emily seem to be doing fine, at the beginning. But Sydney and Dustin are definitely not doing well
they were
in this.
struggling.
Makes sense. They were struggling. Nathan and Tyler, they're doing decently well. Like they're at least communicating. We hadn't seen them got to any story yet, but like she looks like they look compatible when working together.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
She was
seem
singing his
Considering the
praise.
adjustment.
I just love the way he just works through this. I love the way he's communicating with me and just taking charge, and I'm just listening to him. I mean, I was like, y'all haven't even completed one thing, and she was in there praising him like it was the best thing in the world.
but he probably loves stuff like that. So that's you got the right person to do that for you. So Daniel had no problem when they got to the coffee. He just took the espresso with salt back. And then we see Kendra and Jordan just not able to figure out this map. These maps shouldn't be that difficult. If I was in a bazaar, I'd find where I am on the map, and then I would just like count out stalls and be like, okay, like let's count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stalls. Then we're gonna turn left. So, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know how they got so confused. Go ahead.
Ask somebody, because that's what they didn't do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not above it at all. I'm not above it at all.
I'm never above it. You're like, I don't know where I am. Like, sorry, can you help me?
Right.
Like, save time. Ask somebody. Don't need to be the hero here. Like, ask somebody. So I think that's actually a bad trait, though, that we're seeing coming out of Jordan here, where that's like you're not willing to. Your ego and your pride won't allow you to look like you don't know what you're doing or where you're going.
He definitely did not lead. Kendra definitely stayed calm because he's like, oh, well, I really appreciate her for staying calm because she knows that I would freak out if, she wasn't calm, which is not a good trait for a leader. Like someone shouldn't have to stay calm in order for you to not really lead.
And then they even walk past the lamp shop and be like, I don't know where it is. It's like they were very, very bad at this challenge. And it says something, I think, about their relationship and their compatibility and who they are. I think it brought out a lot about who they truly are, because she's willing just to let him not take the lead and not say anything. She's willing to be quiet, and he's not willing to find out where they're going and like make it happen. So yeah, it was very.
And again, stark contrast between them and considering, again, these are probably the 2 longest couples, other than Marty and Emily in here, and just the stark contrast between that. Daniel definitely took a back seat when Jalen was like, no, it's over here, let's go. And he was like, okay, it's not my time to lead. Right. I'm gonna let her lead.
Right.
And that is the difference. You as a leader also need to know when to allow your partner to lead.
Absolutely. Exactly. That's what compatibility is like, okay, like I trust you, you trust me, so let's know when to trust each other. Right. So that the trust really worked out because Daniel and Shaylin do end up making it back to the start first. They made it look like it was a foot race between Marty and Emily, but they came out first. Marty and Emily second. Third place was Sydney and Dustin.
Crazy. I really thought it was going to be Tyler and Nate, to be honest.
And then it would have been an easy decision for Daniel and Shay, I would think. Mm-hmm. Fourth place, though, was Nathan and Tyler. Fifth place was Jordan and Kendra. They lost. Did they finish all 3 tasks or no?
I don't even think they finished all 3 tests.
Yeah,
They
I don't
only
think
found the
that
lamp and gave
that's
up.
that's embarrassing. And then let's just
Terrible.
go back to the start and like they were last still. Whew. No bueno.
Nope.
So Kendra now though after this challenge is savoring every moment that she has with Jordan. And we see over at the captain's table, we see Shay asking Daniel, like, do you think that we'll make it in the outside world? And he's trolling her, being like, no. And she's like, what? And he's like, of course. You're acting something like you already know the answer to. But the captain does bring up an interesting point. He sits down and joins them, and he's like, well, maybe you want to be thinking a little bit more strategically with the decision that you're making. And I was like, ooh, bring some strategy into here because, like, you kind of want couples that aren't as strong as you are to
Right.
go home. So, who are you going to pick, guys, to go home? So, I like that he reminded them of the strategy. You
I
did
was like, not the captain being savage and cutthroat.
Yes,
You're like,
and
do you want to win or do you want to make friends?
oh, and so Daniel decides to kind of really take on the cutthroat strategy to this elimination, and Shaylin is a little bit more so going with her heart for the fact that she's best friends with Kendra, so she really wants Kendra and Jordan to stay. She really appreciates them as a couple. But what do you guys think out of those two couples to choose from? Who would you, if you were Shaylin and Daniel, who would you have kept?
I thought their points were both salient because Kendra and Jordan have been getting stronger and stronger. So you kind of like worry, will they win out in the end? And Kendra and Jordan have not been necessarily. This was the first challenge. I think that they were very far behind Daniel and Shaylin. Whereas usually they're like up at the top with them.
Right. Right.
So I understood, like, listen, they got to go. But I did understand where Shaylin was, the potential that Tyler and Nathan had was high
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah.
both ends.
Yeah, I think they recognize that they have chemistry, and that
Yeah.
maybe they didn't do this particular challenge that well, but they probably maybe they came in really close after couple number 3, and then Jordan and Kendra were like an hour after everybody else. You know what I mean? So like maybe they were neck and neck with the third place couple, or pretty soon
I think
after
that's
them,
the case.
and we
I think
couldn't
that's the
tell.
case.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. So I definitely probably would have cut the them off at the knees. I'm sorry.
Oh
Nathan and
wow!
Tyler.
Yeah. Wow. So we do see Nathan and Tyler do have like having a conversation. Obviously, it's their last conversation that they might have together. And so she does talk about her marriage and the fact that she was really young and into her marriage when she goes to the army. There was somebody that she had a little bit of a relationship with. And as I said before, I don't condone cheating, but I can understand somebody that got married when there's still a child,
Right.
like not realizing that, like, oh my God, there's other things out there than what I've experienced in my youth, my high school
in
life,
my hometown. Right.
So I know I could tell that she feels bad about it and it was wrong, but I think it also showed her that this wasn't the relationship that she was supposed to be in for the rest of her life. And so I definitely forgive her for this cheating that happened. And he did too, which I was surprised about because he seems like someone that wouldn't forgive something like that.
I know. That's how I felt. Like you really knew how much he liked her. He was willing to be like, well, she's remorseful and like kind of get past it. And then he was kissing on her. We have not seen this man kiss like this whole time.
I said he kisses her like he likes her, and he definitely did not kiss Alyssa like this.
Nope.
Not at all. Not at all. So we do see Matt and Ezra discussing the decision that's going to be made. I don't know how I feel about their segments yet. It hasn't grown on me enough. I want to like their segments a little bit more. I'm not sure what needs to happen, but I prefer the captain segment more than I like the Matt and Ezra. And I like them both.
I feel like with Matt and Ezra, they need to be mingling with the couples rather than making, like,
Just
I
talking
feel like
about
the
them.
last few episodes we're just seeing them making judgments on the couples,
Mhm.
and like kind of leave that to Rebecca and
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry. Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like leave that to Rebecca and Jerry. Leave the captain to be giving, like, those advice. I feel like those two are. He's married. She's a single. Like, those two should be listening the singles in their singledom and giving salient advice. Because, like, as a married guy, he's someone good for these guys to look up to. And as a single girl who, is young and might think of stuff like out the box and dating multiple people,
Mm-hmm.
I think that she would be good for the girls to, bounce things off to, not just them bouncing stuff off of each other and getting each other riled up and pissing each other off because they're like worried about their connections with other people.
So yeah, I think that could help it out a little bit because it just, yeah, I just having them discuss the couples, it's not really doing it for me. So maybe more interaction. I mean, we've been saying that we just want to see more interaction with everybody.
Yeah.
And so like including them. Because like, how are they getting their opinions anyways? Like,
Especially
can we see
him. I
it
mean, we've seen her like be at the bar and them come
a
to
little
get
bit?
drinks over. But him, we never see him interacting with them.
So Daniel and Shay, we see them deliberating, and then we see Nathan and Jordan having a chat, and Kendra and Tyler having a chat, and they're all quite friendly and being like, I hope the best for you, and I wish you the best, and like they're all being quite cordial to each other. Nathan and Jordan, we find out, are pretty close friends. We didn't really know that until this episode, and so
Hello,
everybody's like,
interactions.
right? I would
Hello,
like to.
interactions.
I would like to know how this would be like a bigger deal. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
like,
Right.
I didn't really feel anything for either couple. Really,
Exactly.
I was kind of like, I kind of would like the both to stay personally, but if one has to go, oh well.
I felt more about like Jordan hugging Nathan, knowing Nathan was leaving, like right at the end.
Hmm.
Like, I was just like, and we still didn't even see that much interaction with the guy. So it's
We
Hmm.
like,
never saw that Nathan even had a personality until this girl came on the
That's true.
show.
true.
We
That's
didn't even
true.
think he had a
But we
personality.
do learn that he plans on visiting Tyler in Florida. I
Florida.
was like, okay, let's see. I mean, I want to see if something continues on with them. I'll be
Me
interested.
too.
Jordan and Kendra talk about this is their final goodbye, and he really thinks about her all the time, and she's his person. I'm like, okay, okay. And at the sail away ceremony, Shaylin and Daniel decide to keep her friend, Kendra and Jordan. So, friend versus lover. Is that what the name of the title was? Friend
Mm-hmm.
versus. So, friends won in the
Yep.
end.
Even though
Um,
Danielle was like, this ain't friendship. This ain't the
friendship
real
boat.
friendship boat.
Not friendship boat.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's crying, and Nathan and Tyler. Well, Nathan and Tyler were crying when they kind of have to leave. I kind of think this was kind of shitty because I would have liked to see their connection grow a little bit more. Can we swap them out for Marty and Emily? I
I really wish they had come in third, and I
Yeah.
really thought it was them that was coming in third. I really do kind of wish that I would have liked to see where they would have gotten to. That being said, I really feel like they made the right decision. So for
fine.
game wise, I think they
Game
made the
wise,
right
for
decision.
sure, but like as if for a show,
Yeah,
you have two
yeah,
couples that I don't care about for sure. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
like
Right.
But this is where it's getting Love Islandy. Like it happens every single time.
fair. Well, this is just going to be hopefully it'll just be a steamroll for Shaylin and Daniel, and they'll just
We hope so.
like
After the
fuck
6 more
people off.
episodes we have to watch.
6 to 8. Well, thank you both for being with me here to recap these last 2 episodes and being flexible with the schedule, with everybody being all over the place and not being, life with life.
Life.
So thank you both for being able to be here tonight. Anything that you want to talk about before we say good night, or anything you want to plug?
Just follow me on all my socials for entertainment in color. Twitter might be, about to blow up, but you can always find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Swear.
And my podcast, I just recorded a podcast episode, need to edit it, but I have 6 episodes. If you've missed any of them, it's called A Passionate Eclectic and a Retired Liar, and hashtag a pearl. It's on YouTube and all your podcast platforms, including Spotify. So take a listen to that or watch those episodes until the new episode comes out.
Sweet. Anything going on with you, Miss TJoy?
No, but everyone can follow me at Miss TJoy on all social media platforms.
Woo, woo, woo. Please do. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel as well as Entertainment in Color, as well as Miss T-Joy's channel. And like this video, please. I mean, we're watching it. Please just like that. We're covering it. Please just give us that like.
We are still here. We are still
We're
here.
here for
We do this
you.
for you.
We're here for you. And please comment on whether or not you think that Nathan and Tyler are going to pursue something after the show. Please let us know. And if you guys are the challenge fan, I'm going to go live in 2 minutes with Angel Cake. So pop on over and join me there so we can talk about this week's wild episode. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next week to talk more about more episodes of Real Love Boat. I thought it was over.
I know.